Abby Alexander, and you're listening to Wild Man and Steve.
You are about to listen to the intersection of faith, talk, and music. The Wild Man and Steve show starts right now.
And now the continuation of the interview with Word 66 on the Wild Man and Steve show.
To do a cover track, and we weren't sure what we were going to do, so we were trying to figure out. We wanted to do something in a classic rock vein, and we were trying to figure out all the songs that had, that those kind of that were religious or semi-religious, and there's not many, so so I, it just came to mind, Spirit in the Sky. And, that's a song that's been also in a lot of feature films as well. So if you got the younger generation listening to it and they're not really familiar so much with the song, they might be familiar with it through some of the movies that they might have seen it in. So we thought that would be a good one to do.
Nice.
And I'll tell you something that, probably nobody really knows, is that like the ending of that song, we got that double bass rock out at the end, and that just happened. That wasn't planned.
Oh, cool.
So we were just recording, and the tape was still running, so to speak, and and then all of a sudden the drummer started going, and I was going, and we were just messing with it, and then when we got through with it, we just like looked at each other, said that was cool, So so when we listen back, we're like, yeah, we got to keep that in there.
Wow,
nice.
Wow, I love to hear stories like that. I love to hear the spontaneity of it, in this world of recording and everything, making sure everything's just right. You got the click track and all that, just to have that you can testify to is really, that's inspiring to hear that you guys are just lifelike even when you're recording. And that's great. You think it's too late to change and win this fight. It's time to make a choice, my friend, 'cause tonight is the night. So the band itself, so far, what kind of response have you received as far as listeners, fans, radio play, whatever it might be?
It's been amazing. From the first track that we released, On the Way to the Promised Land, I was doing it was during the part where COVID really started kicking in. So I was home. So I just pretty much promoted the music like 12 hours a day. That's pretty much all I did. And I was just sending my stuff out to everywhere and making contacts everywhere. And we got amazing response from that. Like everybody loved that song, happy to say, and they all added it to their playlists. And I would have to say, even at this point in time now, that probably the majority of the radio play that we get is non-Christian.
Wow.
So I would have to say the rock stations, the hard rock stations, hair metal stations, even some hardcore stations play our stuff. We do get a lot of play on indie stations as well. But yeah, I mean, we're getting radio play all over the world. We're constantly being featured on different shows. I was listening to a show just a couple hours ago that we're featuring our new song as well. And there was like 3 of them yesterday that featured us and like 3 the day before. So people are digging what we're doing. And the emails that we get from people are beautiful. There are people that are saying stuff like, we just want to let you know that your music really inspires us. There was this one gal that sent us this email, and I'll never forget. And she talked about how she was been going through some really hard times lately. And she was, especially that song, I Am Free. She was saying that really helped her through, getting through some of these hard times. And she was just like, I just really want to thank you guys for being there and for the music that you guys write. And it's just a beautiful thing because it just validates our purpose in what we're doing.
I just want to say this right now to the folks who are listening. We all talk about how much the music and musicians really touch our lives, and music blesses us in that way. Take the time, go on their websites, find their contact us, their email, whatever it is. Let the folks know. You're blessed by the music. We're all blessed by the music. Let the artists know. What Steve was saying there is so important, I think. And it's never easier. Back in the day, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to talk to your favorite rock stars, right? I mean, unless you joined the official fan club or what. And even then, you're not able to contact them. Now we've got such a more opportunity to interact with artists. So I would say the fans take that opportunity and turn that blessing back around and let folks know.
He said that he had your number. You cut the telephone line. You said you needed a reason. He said there ain't much.
Hey everybody, Wild Man here. I'm looking for my man Steve, my partner. Maybe
He said that he had your number.
Oh, he's over
You got
there.
the telephone
I can hear him. You hear him, guys? I
I say
can
you
hear him.
needed a reason.
Hey, Steve, how you
He
doing?
said there ain't much time.
Steve.
Oh, but when you lose, you win. That's
Steve.
the way it is. That's when the
Steve.
love comes down.
Oh, he's got his.
That's where the love
headphones on,
comes
folks.
out.
He's got his headphones on. He can't listen to me at all. Steve.
Oh,
Steve.
hey, Rodman.
Give me your headphones. Come on. I'm trying to. Steve. Come on.
Hey, dude, what are you doing? Hey, Rodman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Dude, I was listening to my cassette of Rezband's album Between Heaven and Hell.
I'm sorry. Did you just say cassette?
Yeah. Man, I gotta be honest, it's getting pretty warm though. I mean, I've had this thing since the 80s, man. You know, well, man, this cassette is starting to sound a bit rough. But you know what I thought I might do? I thought I'd just like play it really loud and then, you know, record it through my computer. You know, just like hold my headphones up to the computer mic.
Oh man, you know that would sound terrible. Man, you always come up with the great ideas, don't you? Good grief. That would sound horrible. You need Girder's remastered versions. The sound is clear and crisp, and you get a collector's trading card with each one. Go to girdermusic.com and get yours today, along with Disciple as well.
Dude, man, that sounds great. Hey, give me my headphones back.
Oh, no.
Oh, but when you lose, you win. That's the way it is.
Folks,
That's where the
go to
love
girdermusic.com right now.
That's where
And
the love
what you'll
comes
hear is a
down.
little better than this.
Oh, but when you lose, you win. That's the way it is. That's where the love comes down. That's where the love comes down. I got to ask you, Steve, how did you get connected with Danny Miranda? With Queen Blue Oyster Cult guy. I mean, how did that happen?
We're from the same area. I'm from Long Island, New York, and he's also from Long Island, New York. And we've recorded in the same studios at different times as well. And then it just so happens that the guy who was producing and mixing the new record is really good friends with Danny as well. And we were talking about the record, and he's like, man, he goes, how about we get Danny to do the bass parts for you? And I was like, yeah, man. I said, that'd be great. So
Nice.
he did some great stuff. I mean, he's a great player. He's got an amazing feel, and he just knows how to rock.
Wow. That's great. I mean, when I saw that too, Steve and I both, when we saw that, like, wow, that's quite the connection to have, to be able to have him play on one track or play on the album. So how did the band itself, how did you make connections with the other members of the band?
I actually met the original drummer, Dave Murray, who's not in the band anymore, but I actually put an ad out, and he answered the ad. And of course we had, many people that answered, and that's a whole nother story. finding musicians from an ad is just like a needle in a haystack kind of thing. But it just so happens we got together and it just worked. We just got together and we jammed, and it just fit well. And then kept on looking, and eventually we ran into Brian, the vocalist and the bassist. And that was a good fit as well. So the band came together that way. It took a while. We actually almost had a female vocalist.
Oh, wow.
In the band. We found this gal that we really liked as well, but unfortunately that didn't work out. So we wound up running into Brian eventually, and it worked out. And the thing I really like about Brian's voice too is it's a little different. It's not that hard rock voice. He doesn't have that rasp and that that powerful bass voice. And I think that's really cool because it kind of helps our sound out. It makes it a little more different.
Yeah.
Well, and the questions like that, we like ask questions like that. I think fans of this show like to hear those kind of the technical, the behind the scenes stuff. How does stuff happen there? Tell us a little bit about your record label. And we were actually talking before the start of the show, Curtain Call Records. I'll be honest, I was not familiar with that label. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's a non-Christian label. They've got some, it's all hard rock bands. Probably the biggest band they have. Are you familiar with the Dead Daisies?
Oh, sure.
So they have Glenn Hughes is in that band.
I was going to say that's Glenn Hughes' band.
Yeah, and I think maybe Tommy Aldridge, I think, is drumming. I'm not sure.
Wow.
So, and they have this other band called Almost Human. They were on Billboard, pretty high up there as well. And they'll say, got these other bands. So they had heard our music and they really liked us, and they reached out.
It happened so fast, my world turned gray. Once a big talker, I left with nothing to say. Lost all my desire, my will had passed. Cried out for someone to help me, I found true love at last. I feel the love is just sweet as candy. This love that's easy to see. I feel the love is just sweet as candy. This love is just meant to be. It makes my life so complete, so peaceful. It's everything to me. I feel the love is just sweet as candy. I just feel down to my knees. I said, man, this is crazy. How could this be? The answer staring in my face. Salvation eternally. Now I walk in a straight line. Do my best not to sway. Keep my eye on the end game. Giving thanks when I pray. I feel the love is just sweet as candy. This love that's easy to see. I feel the love is just sweet as candy. This love is just meant to be. It makes my life so complete, so peaceful.
So you had you had the project. You have this new single that just came out on the video. What do you see as the plans for Word 66 right now? What is the goal? I mean, we know COVID, when we talk to artists now, COVID has affected live concerts and touring and anything like that. What are your plans here 2022 as we're moving forward?
We're still, of course, in the midst of promoting the new singles, so we definitely want to get it out there. This particular single, Just to Show My Love, is kind of a little more on the mellower side, I would say, maybe even a bit on the poppy side. And, one of the reasons we wanted to record it as well was we were hoping that we can also cross it over into some of the Christian contemporary stations as well. The other stuff from the first EP was a little too hard for them, I guess. So we didn't have any luck with that. So we're hoping that this one will. We've had a couple bites, so far, some people that are interested, and they are going to be adding it to their playlist. But we're hoping to get that on there as well. Some of the newer stuff that we have is probably the hardest or the harder stuff that we've done so far. So we're looking forward to getting that stuff out there as well. We've also did a ballad. It's called How Will I Know? And it's me playing acoustics and Brian on vocals. And we brought a cellist in.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a song about a single person wondering when God is going to send them that special person.
Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So we're looking to get that album out, hopefully by the end of the month is the plan. We're thinking it'll probably be around the summertime before we actually start going out and doing some gigs and some hopefully hook up with some festivals as well.
Mhm.
There is a possibility that maybe Danny might join us as well. We'll see.
Okay.
He's on the road with BOC right now, so we'll see when he's got some downtime that maybe it'll work out.
So obviously you guys have got your website, words the word 66.com. Where else should folks go to find you in terms of social media, anything like that?
We're on all the social pages, so of course you can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Our music can be found everywhere, really. I mean, Spotify, Apple, Deezer, Pandora. Of course, we have videos on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning I give thanks to what this day may bring. I open up my heart to you, you and only you. And every evening as I lie in bed, I do the same, just to show my love is true. Show my love for you. Tell me, Lord, what it is that I must do. I beg you, please have faith in me. Please have faith in me. Give me guidance.
Yeah, and the website is just www.theword66.com. Some of the social pages that we're at, the word 66 was not available. So we're actually the word SIXTY on some of these social media pages.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Everybody take note of that so you can find them.
Yeah.
So, on the spot, on the Wild Man's On the Spot segment of the Wild Man and Steve show, I always like to throw this at our guests, and I think I have a decent one for you. I'm not going to go out there and say it's great, but it's a decent one. So if you're on a deserted island and you can only have one guitar, and you cannot choose one that you own currently, what would you want?
Ibanez has got some really great guitars that I love, and I was hoping that the label would also maybe be able to see if they can get us like an endorsement with Music Man as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sure. Nice.
John Petrucci is a major Music Man fan, and he's one of my favorite guitarists.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
That's good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Of course, on those on the spot questions, we hope that scenario never takes place. But I
nice,
do,
because most likely you wouldn't have a guitar,
Right, but in your case, probably. I mean, that's something essential, right? I mean, it's something that's become part of your life, right? It's going to be hard for you to separate from.
Yeah, I'd probably have to make a guitar out of like seaweed and all kinds of stuff. It would be quite the project.
Yeah, there you go. You know what?
I love it.
That's one for Glenn Kaiser of Res Band, who does all the cigar box guitars now.
He does,
do
right?
something like that. Yeah, seaweed
Absolutely.
guitar.
Seaweed guitar.
Seaweed guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag that right now. Hashtag seaweed guitar. Then we'll know that you listened to this episode. Well, Hey, Steve, it's been great having you on, and we look forward to more great music. And as we said, folks, it's theword66.com, and go check them out. If you haven't, you will love everything you hear. If you are into anything, if you have an ear at all for any type of rock, you're going to love this band and love what they do. So thank you for joining us tonight, sir.
I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure.
It was such an honor to interview Steve Scott of the Word 66. What I love the most about his story, it was so reminiscent of what I remember of the growing up and hearing the testimonies of people's lives that were changed when they encountered God, and then God sent them in a completely different direction where they began to use their gifts to minister to others. That is what God asks of all of us. Is for all of us to just give our gifts to him and say, God, how can you use me to minister for you and to do things for your glory? In his case, it's music that he's doing for God's glory. But in your case, it could be something else. It could be something that's not even music related. But the main thing is that we use what God has given us for his glory because of the difference he's made in our life. We want to see others experience the same difference. We want to experience others to know the same Jesus. Thank you for listening, everybody, and we will see you next time.
The Wild Man and Steve Show is now partnering with New Release Today. Find out more about them at newreleasetoday.com. And don't forget to check out our website, where you can also leave us a review at wildmanandsteve.com.